Hi everybody and welcome back to Outdoor Playtime Adventures. This week's adventure is all about kites. We're going to do a step-by-step craft to learn how to make our very own kite. Let's get started.
Here are some of the materials you're going to need to start making your kites today. The first thing is an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, which is your standard copy paper size. Regular paper does work fine, but cardstock works a little better because it's more sturdy, but use whatever you have. If you use plain white paper, make sure you color bright designs all over it before you start the project. The next item is a wooden skewer. You can also use a straight drinking straw as well. Kite string, which can be found in a lot of department stores or dollar stores. If not, almost any strong but light string will work. A ribbon, most wide ribbons will work fine. And then finally, some scissors or a hole punch and some tape. Before we use those scissors, we'll make sure that we get our parents' permission and supervision if needed. Step 1 is to take your piece of paper and fold it in half. For step 2, you can take your folded piece of paper and mark a point on the top of it about 1 inch from the fold. And then mark a point on the bottom of the paper about 1 inch from the open side. And then you can imagine or draw a line connecting these two dots. Step 3 is to take that piece of paper and fold the top corner of it down along the line that you just created. In step 4, you're going to flip the paper over and fold the other side down to match the side that you just folded. In step 5, you'll flip the paper back over so that it looks like the way it does in step 3, and then you take your tape and tape along the middle seam of the paper. Step 6, you take your piece of paper and lay a skewer across the kite as shown in the picture below and tape it in place. You will probably have to cut the skewer down to size with your scissors. Step 7 is to flip the kite back over and straighten the spine. In step 8, mark a spot about 1/3 of the way down the spine and about 1/2 inch from the edge, and put tape over this mark to reinforce it on both sides. Use your hole punch or scissors to make a hole in this spot, because this is where you're going to tie your kite string through this hole. So tie your kite string through this hole and make sure that it is a good knot. Step 9, you can tape a length of ribbon to the back of the kite on the bottom. If you use a light ribbon, the tail can be about 6 to 10 feet long. Heavier ribbon should be a little shorter. This is something you can experiment with the length. If it seems that the kite can't hold up your ribbon as it flies, just trim it a bit shorter. And finally, step 10, your kite is now ready to fly. They don't need very much wind to get lift, and they're also not best for very windy days. A nice steady breeze is all that it needs. Remember, sometimes it does take practice to learn to fly a kite. Just remember to reel it in some if it looks like it's falling, and let out more string if it starts to tug really, really hard. And make sure that that middle spine on the kite is straight before the kite goes up. Good luck, everybody.
Hey everybody, how'd you do? Were you able to make a really fun kite and get it up and flying in the air? I hope so. So next week on Outdoor Playtime Adventures, we're actually going to learn how to map out our journey back to school. It is that time of year again, and back to school is coming up very, very quickly. So join me next time at Outdoor Playtime Adventures, where we learn how to map out our journey back to school. Hope to see you all then.